Now, not only are you 18 years old, mate, but you've just come off a pretty spectacular weekend, taking out the Nationals title for the 250cc class over there in the US. I guess, mate, how you feeling? It's been a few days since. I guess the last 48, 72 hours has been a bit of a whirlwind for you.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I've had to be in pinch a couple of times. That's for sure. It took a while for it to actually really sink in. Like after the race, I was pumped, but it's like it didn't really sink in till the next day until like I woke up and I'm like, I can finally say that I'm a champion now. So it was awesome to kind of get that, and it's always been a dream of mine. It was sick that that was able to come true. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, man. And you were, ahead of the leaderboard going into the final two motos.
Yep.
It's sort of one of those tricky situations where, you sort of got a bit of a lead, but, you got to, I guess, make the game plan. Do you stay aggressive or do you play it safe? What was your mindset and the team's approach going into Moto 1?
My mindset was to try and seal the deal early and obviously get a race win. I can finally relax, but God had a bit of a different plan for me. That's for sure. It was a bit wild, but no, I kind of went in with the same, go in with the same mentality as every other race. Go in like I lost the weekend before and was pissed about, and tried coming in and making sure I'd execute and do my job right.
And I was sort of watching from over here. Yeah, unfortunately, went down a couple of times there in the first moto.
Yeah.
I guess when you finished, I think, was it eighth you finished in the first moto?
Yep.
What was the mood like going back to the truck? Like, were you sort of a bit worried that you hadn't secured it and you would have to race well in the second moto? What was your approach?
I was very angry after that first one. I'm like, gosh dang it, because I was like, I'm making it really hard. Like at first crash, I'm like, well, I guess I'm making this weekend exciting. I guess I guess I can't get this championship easy. So I'm like, well, I guess this is going to be a fun race. Let's see how far I can come back. And it was a while when I came back in. I was just mainly disappointed. I'm like, dang it, I could have made my life easy with a nice race win, and I didn't. But I was mainly disappointed. I'm like, well, I just have to make sure I execute this next race.
It never comes easy, does it? And I guess, you had Justin Cooper sort of breathing down your neck there as well. What's it been like sort of battling against him?
Yeah, he was unreal this year. He rode really well, and he definitely put the pressure on at this last round. He ended up going 1-1, so it was his first 1-1, which was pretty nice at the most peak time that really mattered. He definitely executed very well, so that was sick from him and put a lot of pressure on me, but thankfully I had enough points to kind of seal it. And no, he rode awesome this year. I had a blast battling with him. He's a really good rider, and he you're always going to be up for a battle when you're racing him, so it was sick.
And being a Sunshine Coast boy yourself, you sort of moved overseas a fair few years ago now. Can you tell me what year that was and what the plan was as you left the Sunshine Coast?
Well, we left the Sunshine Coast at the end of 2015, kind of close to around Christmas time. And we were, as a family, we would always do the junior world titles with my brother and I. And we knew if we just kept doing those, we might get noticed in Europe and that stuff. And thankfully, my brother got noticed, and we were like, oh, sorry guys, we're kind of like a package deal. So I got definitely lucky on that, and our plan was just to try and get known. And because Australia, our sport in Australia is obviously awesome, it's great, but just the motocross industry in Europe and in America is just so much bigger and a lot more money in it. So we're like, well, if we're gonna do this as a sport, and we at least got to try and go 100% all in. So we packed up, moved to Europe, and did 3 years there. And they were 3 rough years, and then ended up getting the call to go to America, and that was awesome. It was like, that was a dream to always go there. So I was like one kind of box ticked off, you could say. And so far since we've been here, we've had some ups and downs, but like it's been really awesome. And if we got told we'd have to do that that path again, I think my brother and I would probably do it in a heartbeat again if we knew this was going to be the result we would get.
And you sort of touched on it there. Your brother Hunter also finished third overall. How proud of him are you, especially, him being the bigger brother? I'm sure you looked up to him a little bit, and also competed with him on the track.
Yeah, like realistically, without him, like me chase every day when I was a little kid chasing him always, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like without him, he's helped me a lot of my career, and he's an awesome, not just as a brother, and he's an awesome racer. He's never gives up, and it's awesome to see. I'm very proud of him for how he got third in the championship and second in and fighting for the title in Supercross, because like in the off season he was sitting on the couch with an injury, and he had in 2020 was such a rough year from it, and as a brother you hated seeing that, and to see him kind of dig himself out of that hole and end up coming out was such a great year for him. For me, like I'm more pumped for him than I am for myself almost, like, because for how much stuff he's gone through, it's wild that he's got out of that hole, because I bet you not many people could get out of that same hole that he was in.
And it must be pretty special having someone so close that you can share your experiences with, and also, maybe he can help you through certain things that he's been through that you're going through. And is it sort of like that sort of relationship between you two?
Yeah, no, it's awesome, because when you're talking about bike stuff, there's no one else better than your brother who does the exact same thing. So it's awesome having him there, because he understands it and gets it. So it was awesome to have him on the team, and just has him as another racer out there. It's great to have him on my side.
And do you think, sort of growing up, having the older brother there, whether he was always, I'm not sure how you boys raced when you were younger, but I'd imagine being the younger brother, you're always sort of chasing him and trying to be as good as your brother. Do you think that pushed you to become the rider you are today, and maybe why you've achieved some of this early success?
Oh, 100%. As a younger brother, the only thing I wanted to do was to beat my brother. Like I know if you have a brother, older brother, or a younger brother, it's like vice versa. If you're the older brother, you don't want your younger brother to beat you, so you're pushing hard and training hard. And as the younger brother, all you want to do is beat your older brother, because you always looked up to him. He was you want to beat him when he's at his best and when you're at your best. So it just feels just as good. And thankfully we both have that respect for each other. And I know about all my life when I was a kid, that's every time I even getting like seconds close, I was pumped. I'm like, yes, I'm not like when I was racing 85s and he was on a 250, I'm like, yes, I'm only 8 seconds off him now. So it's having him as a brother my whole career was awesome, because he was just always the target to try and beat. Every day it's just like, let's see how close I can get to him. And now it's even better, because if I'm having an off day at the practice track, he's right there and he's better. Then it's like, dang it. Then when he's having an off day and I'm there and I'm having a good day, it's the vice versa. So it's like, it's awesome to have him, because we're always trying to give 100%, because we don't want to be the brother that's sucking, really. So yeah.
And I imagine you got two very proud parents at the moment. What was their reaction to both you boys finishing top 3?
Yeah, Mumsy and Dazzy, they were pumped. It's our route to where we got today is unbelievable, for how much they had to sacrifice. Mum had to stay home and always look after either me with food or my middle brother Tate, and Dazzy was mechanicking for me and Hunter on our practice bikes, doing colt like -2 in Lommel. Like it's had some rough times, but it was good. It was actually finally kind of the first time I've ever seen a smile on my dad's face when he was actually pumped. He's normally pretty like serious, facial doesn't change much, so he was pretty pumped, and it was awesome to see that and kind of and give back. They've sacrificed so much, and it's been awesome to give that back to him with this championship, and obviously Hunter doing well in getting a podium position in the championship also.
Awesome, man. And I'd imagine as a young fella moving over to the UK would have been a bit of a culture shock. What was it like not only going from our tracks here to theirs over there, which, a lot of sand, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Was it a bit of an adjustment there for a couple of years, or do you think it was sort of all just came naturally?
No, it was going from Australia to Europe. It's a totally different dirt base. Obviously, Australia where we lived was quite hard clay dirt, so we had a lot of hard pack tracks. Where Europe, where we were staying, it was deep sand. We haven't ridden deep sand like that for at all. So it took a few years to learn it. Like hard pack we were okay with because we had in Australia, but the deep sand over there was unbelievable. There was massive sand rollers, like almost up to our shoulders, where we're almost going into these holes where you could barely see us. Like our helmet would disappear. That's how deep they were. So it took a while, but I felt like that really helped us in the long run because you had to learn a whole different technique to riding the sand there than you could anywhere else.
And how did that differ then going from Europe to the US? Is that another a whole new beast going over there and racing the motocross tracks in the US?
No, I don't think so. They're both I feel like over in America, some of the tracks are a lot more man-made, but I think that time in Europe just really helped us because we end up learning a whole different technique that I don't think you could have got in America. And a whole different look at kind of even training, really, like learning the way how to train like a European would, like with the long winters and that stuff. So I felt like that's helped. And coming over to America, since we rode so many different types of track in Europe, I kind of felt like it helped us a lot with getting used to a track in America. When we go to a new track, we'd pick it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, awesome, man. And have you been able to come back to Australia since leaving?
I've only been back a couple times for I think the last time was 2019 for the AusX Open Supercross race. We were able to come back 2 weeks, I think it was, and got to catch up with family and that stuff again. But since then we haven't. We're trying to plan to come back this year, but with the pandemic and that stuff, it just wasn't working out very smooth. So we're bummed. We're like, gosh, this sucks. But it apparently there's a lot more bigger things going on in the world than that. But hopefully it can calm down next year. We can at least come back and see family and have a meat pie again. I haven't had a meat pie in so long.
That's awesome, man. And you just touched on it there, but the pandemic, how much has that impacted your sport? Has it made things hard, or was it giving you a bit more time to focus on your craft?
We've actually been very, very lucky. Our sport has, and I'm pumped. We've gotten pretty lucky with it. We've been able to actually keep racing through these 2 years. We had a bit of a break in Supercross in 2020, but since then it got pushed back a bit. But since then, it's been actually really, really good. We've been able to race this year almost a full season of Supercross and outdoor. So it was awesome to get that done, and I'm blessed that we were able to keep racing, and because I know there's other people in the world that are going through tough times, so it's awesome that we were able to do that.
And it's sort of as much as it is an individual sport, it's also like a team sport. You've got a team around you. Your trainer, he's a former Honda champion, I believe.
Yeah,
as well.
Johnny. We call him Osho, Johnny O'Mara. He's a legend in the sport. He's trained the greatest of all time, Ricky Carmichael. His trainer gave him multiple championships, and we signed him because he's one of the best trainers out there. You could call him the GOAT trainer, really. So it's it's the second year being with him already. He's already got one title for us, and it's been awesome having him in our corner. And like you said, it's not on the track. It's kind of an individual sport, but then again, without the team, we wouldn't be nothing really. Like our 250 team's awesome. We got an awesome team manager, Josh Weisner. We got Ryan Cox, our engine guy, builds awesome engines for us. And my mechanic is awesome. Like he just puts in just as much as hard work as I do. So our team's awesome, and I think that's what helped us get to where we are today with those guys. It's everyone. It's more of like a family bond now, which is awesome. more than just a team. We're like all family bonded, which I think what really helped us get to where we are today.
Yeah, awesome, man. And winning that 250cc class, it puts you in, you know, a pretty elite class. You know, you've had some previous winners such as Ryan Villapoto. Back in the 125 days, you had Ricky Carmichael, Ryan Dungey as well. You know, what is it like to be a part of that exclusive club when you see those athletes have gone on to achieve big things in the 450 class?
It's obviously, yeah, it's awesome to kind of be in that category, you could say. And compared to those guys, I still have a very, very long way to them, because those guys did great things, and I'm hoping to do the same. But I'm just thankful I have awesome trainers and awesome people around me that can be possible for me.
Awesome, man. Now, also get a bit of prize money winning the championship, I'd imagine. Do you have any plans? What are you going to go do with that money?
Plans are, I got two kind of different plans. It's either going into a house, but if this kind of house stock market, it's very, very expensive right now in Florida. It's either that, or I think I might be investing into a car wash, so eventually I can start getting money flow back from that stuff. So once I retire, I don't have to do anything else, and don't have to work another job or at all. So probably more so into the future. That money's going more into my future than any special toys right now.
Awesome, man. It sounds like you've got a good head on your shoulders and some good advice around you. Where would you like to settle down? But, you know, I guess it's a bit hard to settle down during your career because you're traveling so much, but where are you sort of based now in the US?
I am, my main base right now is in Florida, in Wesley Chapel. I'm staying right now. It's, cause, I got a training facility there. It's, kind of like that main area where most, facilities are. And it's so far it's been awesome, but I'm also like with testing and that stuff, I'm traveling so much from Florida to Cali, like because the team is based in California. So I'm going back and forth a lot in the off season, but once I get more into the season, like of racing, I'm normally staying in Florida for most of the time.
Awesome, man. And do you have a bit of a break now? What's the plan going forward over the next few weeks, few months?
Next few weeks, I think got a bit of a break, and the only thing I've been doing lately is golfing. So I think I'll be trying to get better and better at golf with that, because I get to with my manager and my brother, and we all love it. So I think I'm going to be mainly golfing, but I'll probably be getting back into it soon.
Yeah, I saw in your Instagram stories, you boys have been going at it. Bit of chirping as well, I hear, on the golf course. A little bit of wrestling as well, I've seen.
Oh yeah, it's I may have beaten my brother this year in motocross, but Hunter, my brother, he can still whoop my ass in wrestling. He's still the bigger brother off the bike, so we chirp off on each other and we give each other crap on the golf course, because that's just how we are. We always do that, but eventually I have to take a bit of a beating from the bigger bro every now and then, and I can't do anything about it, so I just got to kind of put up with it and take the beating.
Just keep flashing that number one plate in front of his face, mate, and just say,
yeah, I know.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And I was also going to ask you, Supercross season coming up, how you feel, like liking your chances going into that one?
I'm excited for it. With this new 2022 Honda bike, I'm very excited. I got to ride it a few times, and it feels awesome. So I'm just mainly excited. I'm not gonna. Obviously, my goal is to win races there and try and get another championship. But I'm just gonna try and work my butt off and make sure I go into every race healthy and give my 100%, and we'll just kind of see where we're at.
Because you were saying earlier, Hunter did pretty well in the last Supercross series. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was battling for the championship, and end up finishing second in that championship, which is awesome.
Yeah, who might not know the difference between motocross and supercross? Could you sort of just give a brief rundown as to what the big differences are?
Yeah. Okay. We'll start off with supercross. Supercross over here in Australia, America, is a lot bigger than motocross. Supercross is in a stadium. It's the jumps. It's a lot more jumpy, a lot more obstacles on the track. It's a lot more peakier, and it's definitely a pretty wild course. That's for sure. You guys play on a track, you could say. Where outdoors, it's more out in the bushes. It's a lot gnarlier track. The lap times, a lap in outdoors can vary from like a minute 50 to like 2 minutes plus, like where Supercross are kind of like sometimes get to a minute or less. So it's definitely a lot different. But mainly Supercross is in a stadium at nighttime. We race a lot later. We race for 15 minutes plus 1 lap, where in outdoors we race for 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And in Supercross we only have 1 main event race. Outdoors we have 2. But if you guys didn't get much from that, we have Google. Look it up. Watch some YouTube videos and you'll find out what it is.
Awesome. Is it hard for you to change up your training, or is it all the same training? Because like people sort of underestimate how fit you have to be to compete in these events. It's
the same training, like off the bike, but when it comes to Supercross, we do a lot more, not as many days or not many hours, minutes on the bike, because it is such a high intensity kind of track. So our heart rate will be a lot more high, where in outdoors, in motocross, we'll do 2 40-minute motos and be at like a lot lower heart rate, because you can kind of use more flow, where Supercross, you have to be on it kind of the whole time, because any little thing can catch you out.
And I was going to ask you also, being racing since such a young fella, have you had any serious injuries? I guess, there's a lot of parents out there that don't want their kids riding dirt bikes because of injuries, but have you had any? And, how long did it take you to recover from some of the serious ones?
I've had 2 kind of main ones and a few niggling ones, but I've had broken both of my collarbones. I did my first one amateurs over here, and then my second one at a very big race. With my first pro year, I was almost going to get my first professional Supercross win, and my mate Dylan Ferendez passed me on the last lap, and I was trying so hard to get him back, and ended up going over the bars and breaking my collarbone. And since then, I've been kind of lucky. I've had a slight AC separation, but since then I've been pretty lucky. Touch wood that I don't get any more. So yeah, been definitely a gnarly sport, that's for sure. But that's one thing that you're getting into, is that you're gonna eventually have some gnarly crashes and some injuries.
Yeah, for sure, man. Sure. I was going to ask you also, being a young fella yourself, a bit more of a personal question here. What music are you into? Are you a Drake or a Kanye supporter with the 2 albums coming out of late?
I'm a Drake supporter with this new album. I was actually very excited for the new Kanye album. And when I first heard, I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, come on, man. But no, I'm a Drake fan. I like that type of music. But my music is kind of all over the place. I have some old school songs. I listen to every now and then, like Nirvana songs, or like some Elton John songs. I'm all over the place with music. So I'm not just like the late rap music. I have that. I have old school stuff. Like I'm all over the place. If you look at my album, they're like, whew, it's crazy.
Do you have any pre-race, I guess, rituals that you do? Are you just headphones in sort of guy, or you like to have a good stretch?
No, I'm pretty relaxed with that. I know I have my ritual on the gate when we have in outdoors, or even in Supercross, when the board goes up for like 30 seconds, I tap my head 2 times. Like I think it's 2. I bang my head 2 times and then kind of let out a yell to kind of get like the pump blood flow going. I kind of keep that as a ritual to kind of I don't know, like lock my mindset, like mentally kind of know like, okay, it's time to go to work. So I have that, but off the bike, like before I get dressed, no, not really. I'm all over the place with that. But once it gets on the bike, helmet on, I have my little ritual before I do my starts.
Is it a pretty intense feeling waiting for that gate to drop when you're in there with all the other riders, the engines are revving? Like, what's that feeling like?
It's a feeling you probably can't really explain. It's a wild feeling. Like you can never get old. Like it never gets old. Every time you get on the line, it's like you're like a little kid, just like so excited for the gate to drop.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And also like to ask a few of the guests if there's anything that's grinding your gears at the moment.
Grinding my gears?
Yeah. Like anything that's upsetting you or making you mad or something that you're not too happy about in life at the moment?
Oh, what I'm getting upset about is my shanks when I go play golf. That's what really grinds my gears when I hit a bad shot. I don't really get mad at a lot of things. I feel I'm a pretty easygoing person. I talk crap with my manager and that stuff, so I don't really take much things serious. And so I'm pretty in life. No, not really. I'm a pretty happy kid. I feel like I've always been, and I feel like I'm not really going to change much.
Yeah, awesome, man. And I guess Hunter would probably grind your gears a little bit too. Does he ever get under your skin?
He got blessed with he has a, what's it called? Got the word, dang it. I just had it. His comeback, his comebacks are very good and he's very quick with it. He is very quick with it. He got my mum's side of the family. My mum is very quick with it, where I got my dad's side where he's a bit slower. So I get like, he'll give me crap and I won't have a comeback, but then I'll be laying in bed. I'm like, dang it, I should have said that. So I'm a lot slower. So he definitely gets under my skin every now and then, but I always try to have some type of comeback. Normally I'll use the same ones. I'll sound stupid. I'll fall flat on my face sometimes, but sometimes I get them back.
Is there much trash talk among the riders before a race, especially in the 250 class, or is it all sort of pretty tunnel vision focused?
No, it's pretty tunnel vision. No one really talks too much. I always before like we go down a line, I'll say good luck to my brother. But besides that, no, not really. Not many of the riders do talk. There's some other riders that talk to each other, but I normally go down there for my job, so I don't really talk much.
Awesome, man. And you said you're at the car dealership at the moment. Are you getting some work done on the car, or you're buying a car?
No, I got a sponsorship with J-Star Motorsports there. Jared, he's hooking me up with a car that I can drive around for the week. So he's been awesome and awesome dealership. So if anyone sees this, that's actually no American people in California, tell them to go to J-Stars. They got some sick whips. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, man. And what's your preference of car? Are you sort of more of a sports car, or you're a pickup truck guy?
I'm not much of a fan of a truck, to be honest. I love cars. I love the sports cars, but then I also like old school muscle. Like I think eventually I want to try and get a Camaro, a '69 Camaro. So I like my old schools and my new sport cars.
Yeah, awesome, man. All right, Jett. Well, I think I've taken up enough of your time this morning, man. Really appreciate you coming on and having a chat. It's been awesome talking to you, mate. You're doing Australia proud, and I was actually talking to Kurt Gibbs, if you know Kurt.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know.
The other day. I'm actually going to get him on the podcast sometime this week. He's got a few cool stories to tell, and he was saying how proud of you boys that he is, and how he's really paving the way for Australian boys. So
thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to come on here.